Superman vs. Thor, the battle that has divided comic fans for decades. But let's stop the fanboy talk and ask the real question. Can Superman actually defeat Thor in a real fight? Think about this. Superman fans will tell you he's lifted infinity, but he's also been beaten by Batman, a guy with no powers. Thor fans will say he's a god who fights celestials, but he's also struggled against Iron Man, so who's actually stronger? And here's where it gets ugly. Superman's greatest weakness is magic. And what is Thor? A walking, breathing, magic-powered god. Every single attack from Mjolnir is an instant counter to Superman's biology. It's like throwing a kryptonite-covered sword at him over and over. So if Superman is already vulnerable to what Thor naturally wields, how does he even stand a chance? But let's not act like this is one-sided. Superman's speed is off the charts. He can punch in fractions of a second. He's fought the Flash. He can react before Thor even swings Mjolnir. And if he gets serious, one hit could end the fight before it even starts. So who actually has the edge? Stay till the end, because one of these heroes is walking away defeated, and it might not be the one you expect. Strength. Can Thor even hurt Superman? People love to say Superman is stronger, but let's get real. Has Superman ever choked out a serpent the size of a planet? Because Thor has. He literally wrestled Jormungandr, a creature so massive that it wraps around Earth. Meanwhile, Superman's best flex, lifting a book with infinite pages. Impressive? Sure. But Thor didn't just lift something heavy, he overpowered a god-tier beast in direct combat. If we're talking about brute force, Thor's got centuries of battle-hardened strength, while Superman's biggest challenge is usually holding back. And that raises the real question: if there lands a full-force Mjolnir strike, does Superman's so-called invulnerability hold up? Or is it just comic book plot armor? Speed. Can Thor even touch Superman? Superman fans love to act like Thor would be swinging at air, but is Superman really that untouchable? Yes, he's outrun a black hole and moved faster than time itself. But what's stopping Thor from teleporting straight into his face? In Thor Ragnarok, he dodged Hela's blade at close range, and that's from a goddess who never misses. Mjolnir isn't just a hammer, it's an instant teleportation device. Superman can fly at light speed, but what happens when Thor opens a Bifrost portal and yanks him across the universe mid-flight? Speed is deadly, but unpredictability is even worse. Superman's fast, Thor is strategic. If one perfectly timed teleport puts Superman right in Mjolnir's path, is he fast enough to survive? Combat skill. Is Superman just a brawler? Raw power means nothing if you don't know how to use it. Look at Hulk, one of the strongest in Marvel, but he gets outplayed by smarter fighters all the time. Now, compare Superman and Thor. Superman throws punches. That's it. Thor, on the other hand, was trained by Asgard's greatest warriors. He's fought frost giants, gods, and literal cosmic forces since before Superman's great-grandfather was born. And if you think training doesn't matter, just look at Batman. He's human. Yet he's fought Superman multiple times just by knowing how to use an opponent's weaknesses. Now, what happens when you take that level of battle experience and put it in the body of a god? Superman might hit harder, but Thor knows how to turn power into a weapon. Durability. Who can take more damage? Superman has tanked nuclear explosions and punches from Darkseid. But has he ever survived the full force of a dying star? Because Thor has an Infinity War. Thor stood inside the heart of Nidavellar's neutron star, taking heat that would vaporize planets. Superman is strong, but even he needed help from Green Lantern's energy shield to survive a sun dive. He took that cosmic heat straight to the face and walked it off. And let's not forget, Thor doesn't even need to breathe in space, while Superman still needs a yellow sun to stay at full power. So if this fight drags out, and they end up somewhere deep in the void of space, does Superman slowly weaken while Thor stays the same? The longer it goes, the more Thor's godhood starts to matter. Magic. Superman's biggest kryptonite. Superman's greatest weakness isn't kryptonite, it's magic. And what is Thor? A literal god of thunder whose powers come from divine magic. If Superman can get hurt by Wonder Woman's enchanted sword, what happens when he takes a hit from Mjolnir, a weapon forged with the raw energy of a dying star and blessed by Odin himself? Man of Steel. Superman struggled against Thor just because she was slightly faster and better trained. Now, swap her out with Thor, who not only has magic but centuries of warrior experience. If Wonder Woman's blade can cut Superman, what happens when Mjolnir comes crashing down? This isn't just a battle of strength, it's a battle of weaknesses. Superman can punch all he wants, but can he overcome the one thing he's always struggled with? Endurance. Who can fight longer? Superman is tough, but let's talk about endurance. Everyone acts like he can fight forever, but his power is directly tied to the sun. No sunlight, he gets weaker. Now, look at Thor. He's a god. His energy doesn't run out because it's not borrowed, it's divine. In Thor, Love and Thunder, he fought through an entire army of shadow monsters without breaking a sweat. Superman might be able to throw a million punches per second, but what happens when he starts burning out? In Batman v Superman, Doomsday drained him, and he got visibly weaker. Meanwhile, Thor has gone toe-to-toe with the Hulk for hours and still kept going. A battle of attrition. Thor wins. Superman can't afford to run out of gas. But Thor, he could fight for centuries. Weapons? Can Mjolnir one-shot Superman? Superman is invincible, right? Except when he's not. Let's not forget that Doomsday literally beat him to death with brute force alone. So what happens when you replace Doomsday's fists with a weapon capable of shattering celestial beings? Mjolnir isn't just a hammer, it's an extension of cosmic energy itself. It has broken through forest fields, shattered mountains, and even cracked celestial armor. Superman fans love to talk about him catching Mjolnir in a crossover comic, but let's be real, that was DC downplaying Thor. In Marvel, Mjolnir has destroyed planets in a single swing, and if Superman is vulnerable to magic, what happens when the full power of Odin is channeled through Mjolnir straight into his chest? Even the Man of Steel might not be steel enough for that. Heat vision versus lightning, which hits harder? Superman's heat vision has been described as hotter than the sun, capable of cutting through anything. But does that even compare to Thor's lightning? In Infinity War, we saw Thor unleash a blast so powerful it wiped out Thanos' entire army in seconds. And this isn't just electricity, it's divine energy, capable of tearing through magical defenses and even resurrecting the dead. Superman's heat vision might burn, but Thor's lightning is on another level. One is concentrated firepower, the other is raw destruction. And if Thor calls down a storm the size of Jupiter's great red spot, is Superman dodging it? Or does he take the full force of the god's wrath? Intelligence. Who has the smarter fighting style? Superman might be a genius, but intelligence doesn't always win fights. Look at Avengers. In-game Hulk is a scientist, but did that help him against Thanos? No. Thor, on the other hand, is a seasoned warrior with thousands of years of combat knowledge. He's fought gods, aliens, and eldritch horrors that Superman has never even seen. Meanwhile, Superman still gets tricked by Batman, who is just a human with a strategy. If Batman can outthink Superman, what happens when Thor, a battle-hardened war god, decides to fight dirty? Superman might calculate the perfect punch, but Thor will break his rhythm, change tactics, and force him into an unpredictable battle. And if Superman is expecting a fistfight while Thor summons storms and warp space, he's going to have a bad time. Who is really more ruthless? At the end of the day, this fight isn't about strength, it's about who wants it more. Superman is the ultimate Boy Scout, always holding back, always trying to find another way. Thor, he grew up in war. He's fought to the death more times than Superman has ever had to. In Man of Steel, Superman hesitated before killing Zod because it went against everything he stood for. Thor, if he has to kill, he does it. No hesitation, no second guessing. If this battle ever reaches the point where one of them has to land the final blow, now it's your turn. Who wins? Superman has the power and speed to end this fight in seconds, but Thor's godly magic and warrior's instinct could make that impossible. If Superman was truly unstoppable, why has he struggled against weaker foes? And if Thor is the ultimate warrior, why has he lost to being Superman would destroy? The debate is yours now. Who actually wins? Drop your answer in the comments. But don't just pick a side, prove it.